What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Luto Sick. This is RingWarriors TV, and here are the big questions we're asking heading into this week. What does Conor McGregor's legal troubles mean for his UFC career? Merab says he wants Petr Yan next. After Saturday night, should he think twice? And is the PFL Bellator relationship officially on its way downhill? We're gonna get into all that and more. Stay tuned. It's RingWarriors TV. Keep your hands up. Hey, what's poppin', y'all? Coming to you from my home studio in Miami, Florida. Welcome to RingWarriors TV, our weekly breakdown of everything in combat sports. And y'all know what we do here. We cover it all, from professional wrestling to boxing to MMA. This weekend, admittedly, it was a slow weekend, but we did have a fight card. It was a UFC fight card, so we will talk about that. We'll also talk about the big story of the week, and that is Conor McGregor. Well, our boy caught a case. But before we do all of that, any of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit a like on that video, get it popping in the algorithm. Make sure y'all comment, add to the conversation. Let me know if you guys think I'm full of ish. We're starting a little community here, baby, and it's all about the one thing we love the most: violence. This week, we turn to a story that goes far beyond the cage. It's one that raises some serious questions about accountability, justice, and also power. I'm talking about Conor McGregor, one of the biggest names in mixed martial arts. Well, he was recently found liable of sexual assault. A court in Ireland ruled in favor last week of Nikita Hand, awarding her over $250,000 in damages for what she described as a brutal and violent incident in a Dublin hotel in 2018. Hand alleges that McGregor assaulted and battered her, while McGregor, he maintains the encounter was consensual.
To all the victims of sexual assault, I hope my story is a reminder that no matter how afraid you might be, speak up, you have a voice, and keep on fighting for justice.
Now, what makes this case even more complex is that Irish prosecutors, they've declined to pursue criminal charges for McGregor and another accuser. To make matters worse, the whole case against that second accuser, that's been thrown out entirely. McGregor, meanwhile, he's not remained silent on the issue. After the verdict, he took to Twitter calling the ruling a miscarriage of justice and accusing Hand of being a vicious liar. While the tweet has since been deleted, McGregor has doubled down, vowing to appeal the decision. Now, there has been no shortage of online debate surrounding the case. People are dissecting the court documents, analyzing Nikita Hand's testimony, and trading opinions on what really happened. But let's be clear, we're not here to do that. Our job is to tell you the facts. Conor McGregor was found liable. Period. If you want to dive into the details, you can. Do your own research. Read the court filings. Draw your own conclusion. But here, we talk about combat sports, and what we're focusing on is the broader implications for the sport. McGregor hasn't stepped in the octagon in over 3 years. While there's been talk of a return in 2025, appealing this lawsuit could create additional delays and, frankly, more distractions. But this just isn't about McGregor, it's also about the UFC. How will the organization respond? Will they take a stand on these allegations? Or will McGregor's status as their most marketable star protect him from consequences? Now, let's think about this. When an NFL player faces allegations like this, they are suspended pending the results of an investigation or after the results of the investigation comes out. Wouldn't this be the same thing? And shouldn't Conor be held to the same standard? Now, it could very well be wrong, and there's something that I may be misconstruing. So if I am, just let me know in the comments. All right, y'all, over to the fights now that took place this weekend. We had a UFC Fight Night card take place, and that shit happened in Macau. If y'all know, for me, that means those fights took place at 6 a.m. And the only thing I was really watching was the main event. Petr Yan versus Figueiredo. And hey, fortunately for a 6 a.m. fight card, what better way to start your weekend than with an all-out war? Yeah, Figueiredo came out the aggressor, landing a takedown in the first 30 seconds, but Yan, he was calm and calculating. He reversed the position almost immediately, and from there, he set the tone for the entire fight. Yan, the whole night, was both dominant and clinical. He picked Figgy apart multiple times, hurting him with some strong uppercuts, some strong knees, and it really was Yan the whole night. Now, that's not to say that Figueiredo was getting completely outclassed. No, he remained right there with Petr Yan, and even in the later rounds 4 and 5, he began to build momentum. Unfortunately, though, it was just too little, too late. By the numbers, Yan landed over double the significant strikes. When it was all said and done, he'd be awarded the 50-45 unanimous decision across the board. Now, with the win, Yan not only ends Figueiredo's 4-fight win streak, but he returns his name into the conversation for a bantamweight title shot. And in fact, well, Merab is actually calling him out.
Great fight, Peter. I like your call out and I like your respect. Let's go again after 2 years.
This is a rematch to a fight that we saw a few years ago, a fight in which we saw Merab shoot for around 50 takedowns. He was able to maul Peter basically and secure a 5-round unanimous decision. Honestly, I'm not losing my mind over this fight, but I do think Yan has earned the opportunity. I mean, he was recently through a tough stretch in his career, one that we saw him go through some personal issues, some injury issues, and what we saw on Saturday night, I think, well, he's finally gotten things back on track. Yeah, it feels like Yan is back to being that guy, the killer who had the whole world buzzing when he took out Uriah Faber. For Merab, the game plan, well, that seems pretty straightforward. You're going to have to wrestle, you're going to have to grind, and you're going to have to secure another win. If he pulls that off again, I think it's exactly the last thing that the UFC wants. Yeah, right now, if you look at the UFC lighter divisions, they're ruled over guys like Belal Muhammad, Islam Makhachev, now Merab, all good fighters in their own right, but they're wrestlers, and wrestling hasn't been a fan favorite style we've seen, especially in the recent pay-per-views. I mean, why do you think they're reverting back to the old gloves? There hasn't been any knockouts, and knockouts pay the bills. So, if Merab and Petr Yan face off, I'll tell you who Dana White and the UFC top brass are going to be rooting for. Because thinking ahead, there's levels to this. How much money do you think a Petr Yan O'Malley rematch would garner? All right, y'all, in the last story of the week, let's dive into the major drama happening right now, and that's drama taking place between PFL and Bellator and their own fighters. Yeah, champs like Patchy Mix, Corey Anderson, and Patricio Pitbull, they're all calling out PFL for canceled fights. Mix says he's been grinding for months, received no payback. Anderson, he responded on Twitter saying he's waiting like old cheese, whatever that means. I mean, their issue really lies on the promises made by PFL and Bellator. I mean, when they first merged, they were promised 8 fight cards a year. A part of those fight cards would be championship fights. That hasn't happened, and in reality, all we've gotten was about 5 fight cards. To make matters worse, their next big card taking place was in Dubai. That was taking place in January. Well, there's no Bellator branding at all part of that. At least, that's what it seems like right now. Sad to say, but the PFL may have wasted their bags on bringing in fighters like Corey Anderson and Francis Ngannou, hoping it would pay off. But now, they're realizing the gate they bring in doesn't justify their big pay. I mean, it's clear more than ever. I mean, perhaps for probably every promotion. What PFL and Bellator need, they need a star. And not just any star, they need a homegrown star, one who could drive pay-per-view numbers. A few years ago, they were selling out Madison Square Garden. Now, it seems like they can't even get the theater. Alright, y'all, that's your boy Lou Too Sick, and that was the latest edition of Ring Warriors TV. Make sure you guys hit a like on the video, get it popping in the algorithm. Make sure you comment below. Let me know what you guys think of my viewpoints, my perspective. It's just a part of the stuff that we're bringing to the channel, all pertaining to the world of combat sports and violence. We'll have more stuff coming throughout the week, including some updates, some funny videos for you, maybe some history videos, some list videos. Hey, just make sure you stay tuned, hit that notification bell, and always keep those hands up, baby.
Every time I wake up, shit feel the same. Got a million thoughts and they weighing on my brain. Sipping on my favorite liquor just to ease the pain, cause I feel like I'm crazy and desperate need to change. Making plans to move and talking state to state. Talking pounds and haze, medical high. Ray, look how my eyes stay. What more can I say? How dare a nigga tell me that this rap won't work?